Hi Fude lovers, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome to my channel. Today I have an exciting video of a new Takeda haul that I recently received. Two of these brushes are my own customs that I created with Takeda, and lately I've been trying to acquire more angled brushes because I feel like that is a shape that I am lacking a little bit. I'm really obsessed with paddle shapes, as you may know, so I've been trying to pick up some more angled brushes, and these brushes are actually inspired, these two right here, from the Hakuhodo G5542. That angled brush is truly one of my all-time favorite angled brushes due to its size and density. Because I do have smaller features, I do find it to be really nice and versatile for me personally. So I was really excited to create these brushes inspired by that brush. And in this video, I'll definitely do a few comparisons with these brushes so you guys can get an idea of the size if you happen to have any of these in your collection. So I hope you guys will enjoy. So we'll start first with my Takeda. And this was one of my customs. I got the white engraving, and the brush code on this one is the 20 AOV 43, and this is European Dressed Goat. Now this brush I was really excited for because it is my first European Dressed Goat bristle brush from Takeda, and it is soft as always. When I noticed the difference, and I'll definitely do this comparison as well, the difference between their European Dressed Goat and their EXS bristles is I notice these seem like they're stronger, but yet they have fine tips. So I do feel that this is definitely a stronger bristle type compared with the EXS. But yet the bristles are still fine. You can see those tips, they almost look translucent from about here up. It's really beautiful. So this is 20 millimeter ferrule, and the length is 43 millimeters. Really lovely. And I decided to get the white engraving on this one in particular because I just wanted it to stand out from my EXS bristles, just to make it a little bit different, something special. But I really love the movement it has on the skin. It has the perfect density, really nice density, not too dense, but yet just enough. And please note as well, these brushes in this video are pre-washed, so I have not washed them yet. In fact, Takeda highly recommends that you do not wash their brushes right away. You're supposed to use them and then wash them due to the way that these brushes are bundled and European dressed. They're conditioned, so if you want the conditioner to last a longer time, they recommend to not wash them right away, which I will admit, a lot of my other Takeda brushes I did wash before use, but with these ones I'm gonna do my best to try them first, which I never usually do, to be honest. I have always had a thing about wanting to wash my brushes first. Even Sonia G recommends washing her brushes so they take on their full shape before using, but because of the way that these are conditioned before bundling, that is Takeda's recommendation. But really beautiful bundling. I just love how translucent the tips look. Just gorgeous. I really like this brush. I was so excited when I opened this parcel up. And the next one here is my European Dressed Fox from Takeda. This is the same exact shape as the European Dressed Goat, but I did it in their European Dressed Fox. Got my pink engraving, and the brush code on this one is the same, but it's the 20 AOV 43 EF. And that stands for European Dressed Fox. This brush I am ecstatic for. It has the perfect movement and glide on the skin, just enough density, and it just has that typical bounce that fox brushes have. I am obsessed with this brush, like creating my own Takeda custom in one of my all-time favorite bristle types from them. I was ecstatic, and this one is bundled to perfection as well. Just gorgeous and so silky smooth. That's especially why I want to try to do my best. You're really not supposed to wash them often because it removes the conditioner, so I have not had that happen yet. I've washed my European dress foxes a couple times each. I do not wash them frequently though. I go, I'd say at least a couple to a few months in between, but because I have so many brushes, I have the ability to rotate them quite a bit, so I don't have to wash them as much. And most important of all, I always wipe them on a microfiber towel in between uses, so as soon as I'm done using it, I do remove the product as much as possible. But this is also 20 millimeter ferrule and 43 millimeters in length. So next to the European dressed goat. And you can see they do take on similar shapes, very similar, but because they're different bristle types, you can see the goat has almost like that diamond taper where the fox is a little bit flatter. So that's what's so fun about creating brushes in a shape that you love but in different bristle types, because they're going to take on slightly different shapes. And that's what made creating these so fun, because I knew they would be similar but not identical. Oh, they're just so stunning, and I just like love the movement, because a lot of my European dressed fox brushes from Takeda, they're really dense. And this one has some nice movement to it. It's not too dense. So this is just going to be a dream with bronzing. I am ecstatic to use this one. I'm ecstatic to use both of them, especially to try out their European dress goat. I have not tried that yet, so I'm really excited. And then the next one here I have is the SH6SR, and this is European dress Canadian squirrel. This one I did not get engraved. It just has the standard Takeda logo, long black handle with black ferrule. And this was not a custom of mine. This is somebody else's custom, I believe. I don't know exactly whose it is. If it is somebody you know, definitely feel free to comment down below, because this brush is gorgeous. Like, it is the perfect size and shape for what I love. A nice mini eye blending brush to deepen up the outer V. You could even go on the lower lash line with it. And Takeda's European dressed Canadian squirrel is unworldly. Like, I do not own any other Canadian squirrel that is as soft as theirs. Because it's European dressed, it has that conditioner in it prior to bundling, and it's just incredible. And I'll definitely have some comparisons for this one as well. And then the next one here is another standard Takeda brush. This is the SH7D16EXS. So this is in their EXS goat hairs. And this is a very familiar shape and size that we all love. Classic paddle eye blending brush. Really soft. And this is gonna be really lovely, because this, I feel like, me personally, I can never have enough of this shape for an eye blending brush, because they're so versatile. You can do your transition shade, deepen up the outer V, deepen up the crease. You can go on the lower lash line. Like, it's just such a nice versatile size and shape. And look how fine those EXS hairs are. Their EXS hairs are probably some of my all-time favorite as well. And this I did not get engraved either. I got it in the Camilla red handle with the black ferrule. Standard Takeda brush logo. And I'll definitely have some comparisons for that one as well. And actually, while we're here, so I'm gonna compare it with my ShouShouLang custom brush that I did recently, and it was actually inspired by this Takeda EXS brush. And you can see similar but not identical. So even when you do customs, you know, you're working with different artisans, different companies, and they're gonna have their slight variances, but the lengths are exactly the same. And then I also, oh, and this one is Saibikoho Goat and Kolinsky. And it's 60% Kolinsky, 40% Saibikoho Goat mix. And this has now been washed. In my last video, it wasn't washed yet, so it's really bloomed nicely. And it's got that beautiful diamond taper. And you can see the Takeda is a little bit different. It doesn't taper as much as my ShouShouLang does. And then we have the Rephr 01. And these look to be about the same length as well. You can just see, this is a perfect example how fine Takeda's EXS bristles are. Really, really fine. Look at those tips. And then last but not least, for comparisons for this brush, I have the Hakuhodo J5523. And these are very similar as well. Very similar, I would actually say. This is probably, well, no, it looks like the Hakuhodo a little bit wider here. Now, however, I haven't washed my Takeda yet, so it may look very similar to the Hakuhodo once I wash it. But I just love these classic shapes. Like, I have so many of them and you just can't have enough. Really nice. You could just see, again, those Takeda EXS fine baby hairs. They're just so soft and so silky on the eye. So that was it for this brush for comparisons. And then we'll compare the SH6SR European Dress Canadian Squirrel. I have the Hakuhodo J5529. So you can see it is a perfect size for detail work, but it also just has that really nice domed shape. So it's really going to be able to target eyeshadow really well, and it has really nice glide and movement on the skin. And then I also have the Hakuhodo J146. So the 146 is longer, so it's definitely closer in size to the 5529, but the shape is different. I'm ecstatic for the Takeda one, like having it in that size, but with that really nice domed tip, like, oh, dream. It's just so soft. You have to actually feel these for yourself to actually know how soft their European Dress Canadian Squirrel is. Like, they're just like velvet on the skin. I don't know if I've ever felt anything so soft. They're expensive, but they're definitely worth the experience in my opinion. Even if you just try an eye brush, they're really lovely. And then I'm gonna bring out what inspired me with these brushes is the Hakuhodo, and mine is older inventory, so it's not labeled, but it is the G5542. So we'll compare it with my 20 AOV 43 in European Dressed Goat. Saikoho Goat, by the way. It's European Dressed Saikoho Goat. And that's what's in this code right here. European Dressed Saikoho Goat. So here it is compared. And again, the Takeda hasn't been washed yet, so it is going to bloom out very similarly to the Hakuhodo. But the Hakuhodo, of course, is a mix of blue squirrel and goat. I just think Takeda did such a beautiful job. When I sent them the photos and dimensions, they just nailed it. And then we'll compare it with the European dressed fox. Again, same 43 millimeter length, but you can see the fox is a lot thinner, goes outwards, and then is more flat. So the shape is different, which I'm excited for, because you don't want the same exact brush through and through. So I just think it's fun to see how a company will create a brush that you're interested in, or that you're inspired by, or you enjoy. It's just gorgeous. And I would say, so the Hakuhodo does have, feels like it has a little bit more body than the Takeda. But again, I haven't washed the Takeda, so it may bloom out more. But the Takeda European Dress Fox still has really nice density to it. So it's not floppy by any means, it's perfect. Because I remember getting the CDJapan and Koyudo angled fox brush, and I didn't like it because the hair was so thin towards the angle. When I washed it, it got really floppy and I really couldn't do much with it. I know some people really love that brush, so that goes to show, like, everybody's so different with their preferences. So what I may not like, you may like. But yeah, I ended up actually selling that brush. It just wasn't for me. And I do hope, you know, the person who did buy it does enjoy it, because everybody's so different. And then the other one I wanted to bring out is my ShouShouLang 60% Kolinsky, 40% Saibikoho goat mix. This brush was also inspired by the Hakuhodo G 5542, so it's 20 millimeter length, 20 millimeter ferrule, 43 millimeter length, same exact as these Takedas. And they're all so different. So similar, but they all have their own differences, which makes them all so unique and special in their own ways. I'm just so excited to have all of these angled brushes now, like, just add some variety. And the ShouShouLang, this one is now washed, and it actually bloomed out a lot more. I'm gonna be posting pictures on my Instagram. It was super bloomed out, and I actually put a lace brush guard on it, because my main purpose for this brush, I really wanted to use it with bronzer like I do with the 5542. So the brush guard, what I love about those lace brush guards is they don't constrict the bristles too much, because I still want it to fluff out to its potential. I don't want it to be too compact, but it tames it so it's not too fluffy. But if you wanted to use this with powder, I wouldn't put a brush guard on it, and you'll see on my Instagram it really bloomed beautiful. So either way, it's a really lovely brush, and it's got wonderful density, perfect movement on the skin. Oh, I just love this one, and I'll show it next to the 5542. And you can see the ShouShouLang looks just a little bit longer than the Hakuhodo, even though I wanted it 43 millimeters. But again, that just goes to show when they're hand bundling these brushes, they're all gonna have their own little differences. And ShouShouLang even says in their shop to allow 1 millimeter error in measuring, because they're all hand bundled. So, and I wouldn't even call it an error, because I'm happy to have just different variances if I'm gonna have multiple angled brushes in my collection. So, and here they are. Let's see if I can grab this one as well. So pretty. I'm just so happy to have different angled brushes in my collection now. Especially inspired by a brush I know I love so much. And that's what's great about doing customs, is start with a brush shape and size that you know works for you and you know that you love. That is really the way to go. That's what I did when I first started, and I'm still doing. At least you know you're gonna love the shape and the size. And the last brush I did take out just to compare their European dress Saikoho goat. I wanted to compare it with their EXS hair, goat hair. So just to put them side by side. Softness wise, they are very, very, very close. So here's the EXS. European dress Saikoho goat. Very, very, very similar. Wow, let me put them on my face. Yeah, you guys, they are very close. The EXS might be slightly, and I mean ever so slightly softer, mostly at the tips, because that's what the EXS bristles are really known for, is those fine tips. But as you can see, their European dressed Saikoho goat is still really fine as well. But you can see like how translucent both of these brushes are towards the tips. Almost reminds you of like Saikoho goat, the way it shines in the light, and it's really fine. So I'll definitely have to use the European dressed goat and definitely update you guys in a future video or on my Instagram on how it performs compared with the EXS, because I'm definitely interested to see how they compare. I just wanted to try them because I do have a good amount of their EXS bristles, so I was excited. Very exciting. So yeah, I think that about does it. I didn't want to go too crazy with the comparisons tonight, but just wanted to show you guys these new brushes. I'm really excited, and I just adore Takeda's European Dress Fox. It's amazing. There is speculation as to whether it is Silver Fox or Snow Fox, and honestly, I have to admit they're a lot darker than my Silver Fox brushes. So I was having a conversation with some Fude friends of mine, and I have to think that from a conversation and comparisons I saw from my friend, it does definitely look to be Snow Fox, which is okay. I just wish that it was maybe advertised that way. If it is, again, speculation, but I'm thinking that it's definitely true because it does have that beautiful dark coloring, whereas my Silver Fox brushes are a lot lighter. But nonetheless, silky, soft. The softest fox brushes that I own in my entire collection, besides my Koyudo Golden Fox brush. And I would say these are even silkier due to their conditioning with the European dress process. So regardless, I'm very satisfied and I'm super happy. And Takeda and Yasuhiro did an amazing job on these brushes. They really fulfilled my request, and I'm super grateful. And anybody who's interested in these brushes, you're more than welcome to go on my Instagram if you want to use my pictures. The brush codes are enough for them to make them, so if you gave them the brush code, they'll know exactly which brush you're referring to. But I do not mind if you guys are interested. If you have any questions, definitely reach out. Leave some comments down below. And I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.